What is up, Team Happy and Fit? Happy Tuesday! I always say sometimes this might be the first time in your week or in your day that you're exposing yourself to forward-thinking, positive conversations. That was a big thing with me with teaching. There was a lot of teacher talk, and I just really love surrounding myself with people who wanted to talk about bigger ideas and just really work through limitations and just connect on being healthy and happy and not the stress in life. So if that is your connection to this, that's a really great thing to talk about. I just feel like this team is everything. It is so awesome. I want to give a special shout out to Jill and Emily. They crushed. They crushed September, and it's just really encouraging to see that. And I just love listening and hearing best practices for people who just really love living fit, but then they also just genuinely want to help other people. I just think that the tools of what we have, it's not broken. The fitness is awesome and it tailors to any season and any person. Wouldn't you agree with that? Eric's mom just completed her third day of 21 Day Fix. And she did the bonus workout. I don't think I did any of the bonus workouts. I was like, anything past 30 minutes, I'm good. She did the abs bonus workout today and has been texting me after every one of her workouts. And we've been doing this for 5 years. And so we just are greatly encouraged that she's doing it. And she's 68, I think, doing the 21 Day Fix. And she's like, I love it. Shakeology is incredible. It's not a fad. When you start to really understand it, it's nutrients. It has liquid gold. It's amazing. It helps your body. It heals your body. It keeps you more regular. There's nothing bad in it. And that just gives me more and more belief. And then this team is so encouraging. If any of you have ever been a part of a team growing up or just in general, it matters. I just even think in life, it just matters to be surrounded by people who live in a healthy way, in a productive way, in a way that they work through the hard. It doesn't mean that you sign up as a coach and all of a sudden life is just easier. It means that we have the tools to be able to navigate through it in a healthier way. And I'm so down with that. Are there any shout outs before I hand it over to Morgan? Anyone want to shout anyone out today? I see Nikki there with Evan. So precious.
Shout-outs that we did last night on our team call was that Erica's mom did a workout with her for the first time this week. So she's bringing more people in her family into the fold. And Miss Amara has been rocking her social media. She took the challenge of 7 days in a row of consistency and just showing up, breaking the perfectionism mindset and just doing it. And she's rocking it. And Michelle Fink is on now today 38 of her workout. And MM100 has been a game changer for her. So
Michelle, when was the last time someone in your life worked out for 38? I'm not going to say straight days, but 38 workouts. Isn't that fascinating to talk about?
No one besides this team.
I know. And it's like, I agree with that 100%. Or it's like, if you're doing the 21 Day Fix, when was the last time someone's worked out for 20? When was the last time, like before this journey, I worked out 21 days in a row? No, didn't happen. That was not a norm at all. Amara, I've been noticing your social media. Something that I do is stop, drop, and selfie. I think what is hard is when you're used to not posting and only creeping, like this girl right here. I never posted on social media. Like, that was scary to me. And if you really break it down, like, what's scary about it? You're afraid of rejection and you're afraid of other people. Why? If you're posting something encouraging, that could only help someone else. Right? And if it doesn't, and someone's going to be critical about that, it's only a reflection of how they're feeling. And then they're taking that, whatever you're doing, and they're reminding themselves of where they are currently. And they're wanting to project that. Right? So I do this whole like stop, drop, and selfie. Who am I? If you are a newer coach on our team or you've been in this forever, why are you here? Like, what were you wanting? What were you wanting to change? I have a shout out. My friend Tracy just became a coach on Team Happy and Fit. You guys, Tracy, we were best friends in like 4th grade. Like, I remember being in your basement on rollerblades. Like, you made a special pillow at one of your birthday parties, and I think it was just Rachel and I that were there. It is such a treat to have you a part of this. Like, how freaking cool is that? We go way back, like over 20 years. That's kind of crazy to think about. Just to have you a part of this community. This community is everything. Who are the teachers on the line, or former admins or current admins? Could you comment in the comments? Tracy is a teacher, and I just think she lives in Florida. So where am I? Florida? Do you say Floridians? Florida? I don't know. What do you say? I know Elise is newer and she lives in Florida. First grade teacher. I was fourth grade and then eighth grade. Former school administrator. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Morgan. Morgan is my girl. She's about to introduce Danielle, and I have to say one thing before Morgan does that, is that Morgan was so meant to do this. And I just think about like how long she watched me for, and then how long she didn't want to do this, and then she did, and it like just to see her grow in this over the last few years, but then be able to have someone like Lisa, and there's so many, I'm gonna miss people, and Danielle, and just an incredible crew of people that are they're all in this and for such beautiful reasons. And Danielle said yes to leading this call, and that is scary. And I told her, I said, this will just grow you. Like, I get scared too sometimes, but sometimes when we say yes to the scary things, it changes and transforms our life, because what was once scary won't be as scary. Right? I'm sure some of you were scared to become a coach, and then you did, and you're like, what was I so scared about? I would have joined earlier. How many of you feel that way? Brittany Burmeister, do you feel that way? You better feel that way. Right? Me just like 2 years. Come on, girl. Like, this is going to transform your life, right? But to say yes to certain things pushes you. So Danielle, I'm so proud. I know you might be a little bit nervous, but I'm just telling you, this is all of our first time at life. And what you have to share is valuable to my life, just because you're doing life. And I love partnering with you. So Morgan, go ahead and introduce our guest speaker.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to stop smiling tonight. Like, I'm just so proud. I'm so incredibly proud of my team. I'm so incredibly proud of Danny for stepping up and taking this opportunity to talk and speak. And we were texting a little bit before this, and honestly, who's here to judge? Right? Like, none of us. If you're going to practice speaking somewhere, like Tuesday night on our team calls, wouldn't you? Like, practice leadership on us, because we are absolutely the most open and loving and affirming group that you're ever going to be a part of. And that's part of what makes this team just absolutely incredible. But it's my pleasure to introduce Danny. Danny is just fire. Like, she is one of those coaches that you get connected with that just becomes your friend and just finds solutions, not problems, in everything. And that's been the story of her business. She watched me for a long time, and that'll be part of your story. So I'll let her share that. I don't want to do too much of an introduction, because I know she's going to take care of that herself and say it even better than I ever would. But Danny was part of my team, all of us Beauty Inspired, going 1-star this year. She has that diamond mindset, even more than diamond belief. And I just can't wait for her to share some of her best practices with you guys, because her business is on fire. She's on fire for this. She's got such vision. And if you can take any nuggets away from her, you'll not only elevate your personal life, but also your business as well. So Danny, so proud. Take it away.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shaking in my boots, so I'm just gonna take a deep breath and we'll start. First of all, thank you, Julianne. Thank you, Morgan. But more than that, thank you, all of you, for this team. I am gonna really try not to cry, but I've never felt so in such a place where I belong. This community, this opportunity, this gift has completely changed my life, and I will forever be grateful for that. So, get started. Again, my name's Danny. I grew up in Wisconsin, born and raised. Go Pack Go, till the end of time. I am a veteran wife. I am a dog mom. I'm a boy mom to an amazing 10-month-old who, if you follow me on social, you'll see him all over the place because he lights my life on fire. He just keeps me going. But before him, I was a mom to 2 angel babies. and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I'm also an ER nurse. I am a CEO, and I'm a self-love warrior. So growing up in Wisconsin, being a Westerner, I grew up in a family that we were active, but we weren't necessarily like going to the gym or like making sure we had all of our food groups. When I was talking to Morgan about this, I like to say we ate hamburger helper and casserole for dinner almost every night. Like that's just what it was. I was in gymnastics. I was active in that. But one thing that as I grew up, two things that I always knew my entire life. One, that I was going to be a nurse. When I was 6 years old, I said that. I still have papers from when I was 6 that I said that. And two, everything happens for a reason. That's truly my belief. I have it tattooed on my foot to remind me every single day along this walk in life. It's my mantra. So, I kind of bounced around going through school with my weight. Like I would, I more or less just watched what I ate. But when I say that, it wasn't that I watched what I ate and I ate healthy. I would eat small meals, or I'd eat one big meal all day long, or I'd only drink water or soda for a couple of days because I was like, oh, well, that's enough calories to get me to lose a couple of pounds to fit in those jeans this weekend. And I did that through high school. I met my husband in high school. And it's funny because when we started dating, like he was not that type of person to like, he bounced around a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And when we met, I had that security with him, that we just ran, and we haven't looked back since. So, like I said, knew I wanted to be a nurse. So I went to Concordia in Mequon, Wisconsin, which is where I met Morgan and Lisa and my old roommate, Chelsea. And I know a couple of other ladies on this, and sorry, Eric, on this call who also went to Concordia. But those are the ones that they were in my nursing class. So I met them then. I was good friends with Chelsea and Lisa in school, but, after school, life changed. And when I was a sophomore in college, my husband joined the military, and he was gone for the last 2 years of nursing school, which at the time I said, oh, well, you know what? It's easier for me because I can focus on school. I don't have to focus on trying to have a boyfriend, have a life, have school, all that jazz. But I never really gained like the freshman 20. I kind of just like gradually gained it. And I played that same game of, oh, well, I want to go out and party this weekend, so I'm going to like not eat much throughout the week so I can not be bloated and fit my jeans, and then I feel like crap on Sunday and Monday. But that's college life. And my husband and I, when we got married, had this 5-year plan. The 5-year plan was I would get done with school, I would move away wherever he was stationed, and that's kind of how it worked. Again, everything happens for a reason. His times that he had breaks was the times that I had breaks. Like it just all fell into place. And so when I graduated, we moved to Kansas together. And that was the first time, I was really away from my family. I had no one in Kansas besides him. And he was gone most of the time. And it was the first time in my life since I was 14, and mind you, I'm 24, I think, 23, that I didn't have a job because I didn't have my license in Kansas. I had to wait and sit here and try and find something to do with my life. So that's where I gained a huge chunk of my weight. Looking back at pictures, I don't see a whole lot of it, but I know like that's where I mentally like kind of lost it. But at that same time, we realized the depth of Jordan, my husband's PTSD. Because again, that was when we were first together for the first time, and it was just the two of us. I look back at that time and realize that was one of the top 5 hardest times of my life. But at the time, I knew it was hard, but what else did I have to do besides keep pushing forward and just keep doing me? Like, keep knowing that the end goal is all that I can keep pushing for. So we got through that. We moved back to Wisconsin, continued on this 5-year plan. I got a job in the ER. It's not where I planned to be. If you asked me in nursing school, I was like, nope, ER, not for me. You can take that. I'm good. But it's where I fell in love. It was my calling. That was a place that I could go and I could fulfill that passion of helping others. And that's what fuels my fire, is helping other people. Did I realize it was going to burn me out real quick? No, but I kept pushing past that. I'm like, I'm not a burnt out nurse. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. I show up for work. I get my 12 hours in. I check out. I go home. I'm fine. Not the case. I'd go home. It'd take me a day or two to fill my cup back up. And because I was pushing so many days in a row. Getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry. So I got a job. We bought a house. And when we got married, I had planned that on the day we got married, 4 years later, we would renew our vows, because I needed that white dress picture. I needed that church. I needed that all, because, as a little girl, that's what I wanted. And so I'm not gonna not fulfill those dreams and regret that someday. So we did that. And I was 24 at the time. And we decided, you know what? We've been going for so many years. Let's give it a year and then we'll start trying for kids. So come July of 15, we start trying and boom, guess what? You're pregnant. There's 2 pink lines. And I was like, wait a second. Is this really that easy? Because not most people do it that way, but hey, okay, I'll go with it. I'm not going to question it. But I was right. It was too good to be true. And at my 8-week appointment, we found out that I had a bilated ovum, which means there's a sac, but there was nothing in the sac. So a baby was growing, but something happened at some sort. Either my body recognized it and stopped it or whatever. I would say that was probably number 2 worst time of my life. But I had to keep pushing forward. I had to keep, keeping myself busy. My husband, on the other hand, he was so focused on making sure I was okay, he didn't take care of himself. He gained the weight. He held that all in. And we struggled for a really long time, because at the same time that I found out that I was miscarriaging was the same week that I got in really ridiculous trouble at work for something I should have never been a part of. And it scared the living daylights out of me. But at that moment, I knew, okay, this is a sign. God's trying to tell me something. So I got my foot in the door at another hospital. It was 45 minutes away, but I had some coworkers that worked there and they loved it. I started working there, and within 3 days of orientation, they're like, hey, here's an opening for you. You want it? And I was like, okay, God, I get it. I'll take it. I'll go with it. So I was working at both jobs, anywhere between 36 and 60 hours a week, because I needed that distraction, because all these people were getting, or women were getting pregnant, having babies, doing the things I wanted, and nothing was happening. We were trying, and nothing was happening, and it was driving me crazy. I knew each day of the month where I was at, and it was ridiculous. It wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying life. But I didn't know what else to do. I knew I had a goal and I knew I had to get there, but how else was I going to get there? So bring you to January of 2017, a girl at work, back up. Mind you, I'd been going to the gym. Nothing was working. I was wasting money is really what it comes down to. But come January of 17, a girl at work had mentioned that she was going to do this beach body. And okay, I've seen the infomercials. I think I have a Shaun T hip hop ab somewhere that I did nothing with, but whatever. Okay, sure, why not? Because Country Heat, sorry, Julianne, country lover here, but Country Heat was all over TV. And I was like, I can dance to some country music. It sounds good to me. So I actually recently looked back at the conversation I had with the coach that I originally signed up with, and she offered me the DVDs, or BOD had just came out. And I remember thinking, $8 a month for a whole, for all these workouts? Okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it. And if anything, I'll forget about it, and $8 a month, like, I spend worse money on things. So I did Country Heat. I didn't jump in with the nutrition, but I did Country Heat. I did 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme. I never fully committed to a program, though. I will tell you, I would bounce around. I'd do it some days, I wouldn't do it other days, but I never fully committed to the nutrition. I would try the ridiculous shake, because it was ridiculous. I mean, how can I sit here and justify spending that much money, right? Yeah, okay. Well, on top of all this, I was watching Ashley Molstead, because she was killing it. She had just gone viral with her post where she let all of her belly hang out. And I was like, she's got family from Wisconsin. She likes to drink. She can work out and still make it work. Like, I can do this. Like, I'm going to just follow her. Okay, fine. Later on, she drove me crazy, but that's a whole nother story. But I watched her for so long, and I can't tell you what it drew. And maybe it was just the fact that she was so real that I was like, I need this in my life. I need this motivation. So fast forward to that summer, we had tried IUI, which is a form of infertility. It didn't work. There was a 2-month gap because my doctor had left, and I couldn't get to the infertility clinic for 2 more months. So that was August of 17. 2 days before my appointment, because I told Jordan, you know what, we're living this summer, we're enjoying this summer. 2 days before the appointment, guess who found 2 more pink lines on a pregnancy test? Yeah. So I was like, where are we going with this? What are you trying to tell me in this life? But I was scared. I was like, I don't want to go through another miscarriage. Well, that's what happened again. First time I was 8 weeks. The second time I was 10 weeks. But baby stopped growing at 6 weeks. And this time I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. Like, there's a reason I'm going through this, whether it's to someday help someone with a miscarriage, or it's someday to, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I can't keep living this life like this anymore. So we were going through some stuff in the fall, and I said, you know what? We're going to go on a vacation. Right after vacation, I'm jumping full in. I'm doing the nutrition. I'm doing the damn Shakeology. I'm jumping both feet in, and we're just going to get this done because I'm done. And so that's what I did. I did 80-day obsession. Saw Morgan killing it, pregnant as heck. Sorry, but Jesus, like, I was like, I have to do this. If she can do it, I can do it. Well, that was the first time that, like, because I was not a morning person. I was not going to get up and do my workout in the morning. Not happening. Even if with all the Energize in the world, because I was doing Energize or drinking Energize. But then I'd come home and I'd do my workouts. Jordan would pretend to do them with me sometimes, but I think he just liked to make me feel better, but it didn't really work. Anyways, I think I got 40 days in and I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, okay, are we doing 3rd time's a charm or whatever? I didn't want to give it too much thought, but I just kept doing me. I just kept showing up and, doing what I knew, because I was not going to let this 3rd time change my life. Well, he changed my life because he was for real this time. And I did quit doing 80-day at 60 days. But I was so exhausted, and mentally, looking back at it now, I was so afraid for every day that we got farther that I couldn't give it that time. I couldn't push myself any farther, because if I would have miscarried, I probably would have thought, okay, well, you know what? You did too much to your body. So I left it. I didn't drink my shake. I didn't do any of that. Fast forward then to about a year ago, Chelsea and I, my old roommate, reconnected. She was supposed to have a baby 2 weeks before me. Ended up being a couple weeks. I don't remember. They're about 2 weeks apart, but we reconnected. She had just been posting on Instagram about pumpkin spice, and I was like, wait a second. She can't be doing Beachbody too. Okay, well, we got to chat about this. So we chat, and we both decided, let's get through these babies, and at the beginning of the year, we'll stay connected and keep going with this. So have the baby, feel like a cow. Julianne, Nikki, any of you who are even standing upright right now, like I can't even talk to you because I'm pretty sure I didn't know my name for 2 months. Like I don't know how you're doing it. So kudos to you. Anyways, sorry. So I was sitting there right after Christmas and I was like, you know what? I need to move my body. I need to do something. So T20 was coming out and I was sitting there like, do I spend the ridiculous money on a challenge pack? You have BOD, you have the shakes, like what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I really like the idea of Lift 4 because it's only 4 days a week. I can do that because I only work 3 days a week. But then I was like, Danny, let's be real here. You've tried that. You've tried not to be 100% in before, and it's not worked. So if you're going to do the damn thing, do the 20-minute workout. You've got a 2-month-old at home. Do it now while you're still on maternity leave, because guess what? You're not going to fit in your scrubs, and I really think it's probably better to spend the ridiculous money on the challenge pack than buy some new scrubs when you have perfectly fine ones in your closet. So that's what I did. I know I scared the crap out of Chelsea when I was like, let's jump in, with this whole coach thing, but we did it. And, but mind you, when I said the coach thing, I just wanted the discount because I'm all about saving money here. But have to quick tell you, my BOD renewed in like 2 days after I bought a completion pack. So I bought a completion pack with Recover and Energize, then paid the $100 and then paid the extra for Shakeology. So new person wants to tell me that they're spending too much money, I've got no sympathy for you whatsoever. All I gotta say. So one thing that I realized though is I can't handle your chats right now. My join date is January of 2017, but my start date is January 4th of 2019. But that's not even 100% true because my true coach date, I'm going to call, was January 14th because I signed up as a coach 3 days later of listening to podcasts and listening to personal development that I had been watching all these other Beachbody coaches talk about. They were saying, why not you? Why aren't you doing this? Why can't you show up for yourself? And I was like, because I don't want to, because I can't be you. Okay, Danny, I get it. Like, just do it already. So I messaged Chelsea and Morgan and I said, let's do this. I'm going to jump all in. This is going to be the year of no excuses. And that's what I posted on January 14th of 2019. I said, I am done with my excuses. I am done pity partying. I'm done. It's over with. I didn't believe it for 1 second. I didn't. I wanted to, but I didn't. Well, then I posted on social, so I kind of had to follow through. And all these people were like, okay, cool. I'm proud of you. Well, then I messaged them telling them what I did, and all my family, and Amy Ross says, well, I want to do this with you. I want to be a coach with you. And I was like, crap. Guess I should probably try to do something with this. So I started watching all these videos and coaching mentorships, and they're telling me to sign up my spouse. Okay, fine. So on my birthday, that was my birthday present to myself, I signed Jordan up. he didn't really have a choice. He told me he was fine with it, but he did it. I kind of did and then told him I did it. So it's fine. It's all good. So I went Emerald within 2 weeks of me saying I want in. And then that was February. February was also Team Cup month, and which is for new people, it's like this big incentive that they do, kind of like we're doing for October. And I remember seeing all these coaches posting about it, and I was like, well, I kind of want to do it, but I don't know if I want to put the effort into it. And then I was like, is Morgan going to ask me about it? I don't know. Okay, just do it. Like, you keep thinking about it, so you might as well do something about it. So, excuse me, I asked her and signed up. And that was the best month. Well, yeah, till this last July. But I signed up 5 coaches that month. And then Julianne called me out on a team call and scared the living daylights out of me. But that, because she did that, Nikki and Liz, or sorry, not even Turner, my ginger squad, reached out to me and told me how proud of me they were. And I was like, where are these people coming from? Like, hello? Okay, fine. I guess I can keep doing this. But because I showed up that month and because my family joined in with me, I saw the potential in this. I saw that paycheck, and I saw that that was the same time I was going back to work full time, and I was working my part-time job, and I was getting physically sick thinking about trying to find 3 days a week to fit in my schedule, plus try and fit in the requirements I needed for this other job. Oh, wait, and try and have a life and try and be there for my son? No, I literally messaged Morgan and Chelsea and said, you know what, I've got to quit this other job, and Beachbody is going to replace that. Because you know what my answer used to be when I was pregnant and everyone told me, well, you're going to have to quit your other job. And I said, no, I can't do that. I'm a workaholic. I have to have something else to do. And I was getting paid every week. So every week I was getting paid from both jobs, opposite, whatever. You get what I mean. And I was like, I need that paycheck every week. Well, guess what? Beachbody pays you every week. So light bulb, that was my answer. So fast forward, then there's, this success starter thing. And I'm like, well, I have to get that because that's just cool. Even though it was just a name, but I needed that. Then fast forward to May. I had been pumping this entire time. I had been showing up, even though it made me want to vomit, even though watching those videos of myself and editing them and posting them on Instagram, I covered my eyes as I hit send, or retaking the 17th video of me talking on Instagram about whatever. And I felt like an idiot, but people were watching, people were messaging me, or they were ghosting me too, but sorry for them. They've came around, some of them. But anyways, fast forward to May. I had been using my pumping time as my work time. That's when I was, inviting. That's when I was checking in with people, and I was getting rid of that. And now I'm like, well, how do I make this work when I work full time? I have to try and, come home and, spend time with my husband, spend time with my son. So I like to call May my personal development month, because I really plugged into my personal development, and I really tried to figure out if this was going to work for me. I was in my back office every single week in May looking to see where that person's next order would go. Hopefully, even if I got $14 paycheck, it was still a paycheck, because if I saw zero, that was really upsetting to me. So I was also at that time in the Diamond Push for Summit. Not gonna lie, I failed, and I was super upset about it. But I was like, you know what? It's all right. I'll be fine. It's just a rank. It's not the end of the world. Well, at that same time, again, everything happens for a reason. I show up to work one day, and there's a traveler there, and she's got a Shaco cup sitting out there. Wait, no, you can't come into my turf. Like, I haven't gotten the balls yet to talk to these people at work. They watch me all the time, but I haven't gotten the balls to talk to them yet about this and join me. You can't come in. Well, she ended up being one of my newest best friends in the entire world, which, again, everything happens for a reason. She is Brittany Frost's coach, and it just blows my mind, like, how small this world is and how this all works, because she had just hit diamond. And when we started talking about our business, she said, "Why aren't you diamond?" And I was like, yeah, whatever. Well, literally that next Sunday, Joy Harrington goes on a call and says, "Why aren't you diamond?" Diamond's a decision. Are you going to make that decision? And at the same time, Team Rockstar Fit, Trina says, "There's a diamond soiree. Are you going?" Well, yeah, I want to go. I want to go to a party and get all fancy. So that, I think it was a week, maybe 2 weeks. Morgan and I chatted. I looked in my back office. We figured it out. I reached out to Jen. I reached out to Amy, my two coaches that told me from the start they want to do this business. They hadn't been doing a whole lot. They were showing up for themselves, but they hadn't been reaching out to people. But that's fine, because I know how to do that. I can show them how to do that. So that's what we did. We made Jen Emerald, and guess who went diamond? And that helped push Morgan to 1 star. And that helping her get to 1 star made me feel amazing, knowing that I could help her do that. I could show people how easy this was. So Summit comes along, and I meet some incredible women, and I watch all these other women and men walk across stage. And we're sitting up there, Turner, Danny, and I are all talking, and we say, "You know what? We're going to walk across that stage next year. No questions, nothing. We're doing this." So this is, again, my call out to all of you that we talked about this at Summit. We're doing this. We have more than enough time. There's no questions. We're done. Okay? Side notes. Soapbox for a second. But that's also where I came up with my team name. I had been messaging Jen for about a month saying, I think I should probably come up with a team name. I was going back and forth with some stuff, but then Fire and Inspire came into my head. Turner helped me with it. Jen helped me. So my team name is Fire and Inspire. The reason for that is the women who do this with me, women and men, but this team, they fire me to keep going. They inspire me to keep going. So, and they're telling me that I do the same thing for them. It's full circle. We just keep pushing each other to keep going. We have an amazing gift here. And when we're not telling people about it, and don't get me wrong, I have a folder in my phone that says gut check. And when I'm getting in my head, I go to that gut check and say, "Okay, Danny, get out of your head. We have this gift." I've got a list of things that I know that hits me. Another best practice that I have every single morning is, since April, I have been doing the Start Today journal. I write 5 things that I'm grateful for and my 10 goals. Now, these goals are things that it could take me 10 years to get. Some of them are super tangible. Some of them scare the living daylights out of me, but I know one day I'll get there. And again, that goes back to my goal-orientedness and how I just need to keep pushing forward, keep putting my head down, even through the hurt, even through the hard. Okay, sorry. I kind of just have kept that momentum going the last couple months. I'll tell you, September was rough. September, I sat there and I was like, what if I get on this call and I didn't hit Success Club for the month? Is it going to be the end of the world? No, it's not. But I at least need to know that I put every ounce of me into September and just keep pushing. So I'm going to tell you my other big goal that's literally going to make me vomit here in a second. I said at Summit that I'm going to hit 1 star on 11/14. Mind you, I didn't know that 11/14 is 6 weeks before the end of the year. I picked 11/14 because it was the Thursday after my son's first birthday, and I thought, hey, that's a great date, isn't it? Like, he gets to celebrate his birthday, I get to celebrate, big success. Now, I told Amy and Jen that if we get to 11/14 and we're not 1 star, is it the end of the world? No. But as long as I know that we pushed and did everything we possibly can, then I'll be happy. I'll know that we did what was meant to do. I know that we reached out to as many possible souls. Not everyone's going to be accepting. It took me 2 years to want to do this. It took me 2 years to see the benefit of Shakeology. Now, mind you, today I got a phone call from my mom. She's been doing Shakeology only because I signed her up as a coach, and I said, Mom, I got this Shake-O for you. And she's like, well, why not? 20 pounds she is down in 4 months. And the only thing she has changed is she has been drinking Shake-O. She has increased her water. That's it. Maybe a little bit more veggies, but I highly doubt it, to be completely honest with you. But 20 pounds, like, that's a huge deal. And my brother is getting married in less than 2 weeks. So stress is beyond. Like, it's crazy to me how people get so distracted by the number, but we go and spend all this money at Target, at Starbucks, at the grocery store on crap. Sorry, my language, but crap. And I know I still have issues with it because, nutrition is still not my strong suit, but I'm working every day towards it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm just so grateful for this team. I'm so grateful that we have this amazing community of successful women and men that have already shown us how to do it. You show up, you get your workout in, you share that journey, and you drink your Shake-O. That's it. And work on your mind. But most of all, work on your mind. I do that every day, whether it's in the car on the way to work, in the shower, or when I'm annoyed with my husband. I go in a corner, and even if it's 5 minutes, or I go to someone who I know has that motivation that I need. And it's completely changed my life, and I'm so, so eternally grateful for. Last 2 things I just want to say. This business is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. You just have to get out of your head. Actually, 3 things. 2, everything is figure outable, and there's always a solution, never a problem. But 3, and most important, you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. Morgan told me that, like, I'm pretty sure at my Getting Started Right call. And mind you, my Getting Started Right call, I got off and I was like, she didn't tell me the secret. What am I supposed to be doing? Morgan, help me here. That's all. That's all I got for you.
I love you. You were making me laugh. Oh my gosh, you're so great. I love your honesty, and I love how much of it was your own self getting in your own way until you gave yourself a chance. So often in life, we don't give ourselves a chance because we lean into fear, and we lean into scarcity, and we lean into the opinions of other people. And instead of just doing it, because this won't kill us, right? Saying yes to this won't kill you, and it opens up your eyes to different possibilities. And I think what I love so much is that we celebrate people as adults. That stops. Like, as a teacher, I celebrated kids all the time. And it ends as an adult. I don't know why. Like, recognizing people for not just goals, but for consistency. I think that's what I love so much about this team, is that we celebrate consistency. We celebrate just showing up every single day. It's pretty freaking awesome to hear you say, I tried 21 Day Fix, I did this, T20. How many programs have you done now, Danielle?
Well, mind you, did I tell you guys I started Shift Shop right before I found out I was pregnant with the second time, and I was pissed because I was like, I really wanted to actually finish this program, and that didn't happen. So I did 4 beforehand, done T20 twice, 21 Day Fix Extreme Live, 21 Day Fix Real Time. I did another 60 days of 80 day, and then I'm 63 into 100.
63 out of 100 for Morning Meltdown 100. And I just think that we're celebrating consistency in that. Like, we're here beyond a number. We're here beyond a workout. We're here just to work on life together. And I think the job of people say, oh, I can't coach. I can't. And I'm like, no, you can cheer for other people. You've been doing that your entire life. Where you struggle is cheering for yourself. Like, you believe in people, you want to see them successful, you tell them to go do it, but then you're not willing to do it yourself. That's the hardest part about living, and that's the hardest part about coaching, is learning how to show up for yourself, believe in yourself, and coach yourself. That's where this team comes in. You'll have no problem doing that for other people. You get in your head, right? When someone says no, or they make a comment, oh, you're doing that. And it's like, yeah, I'm working out. I'm living fit. What's wrong with that? And you start to turn that around and be like, wow, like someone would be weird about that? Like, that doesn't even make sense in my head. Danielle, what is your what is your favorite personal development? Personal development is the vital behavior we have with coaching. And I think it's really wild that legitimately our job, tell me another business that's like this. Tell me another job that's like this, that where you can make impact and income. Teaching, when I taught, can make impact, right? But for the sake of my soul. I never lead to quit your job. That's not what this is about, but I definitely lead and mentor to give you more choices and self-care in life. You know, there's other jobs where you can make a lot of income, but not necessarily a lot of impact. But what we get to do, our job is to legitimately work on ourselves to be healthier and happier. I think that that is a win-win, and we get to help other people do that. So much of that is mindset. So Danielle, what is your favorite personal development?
I do have to say, Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis was what started me. I started listening to it in the car while I was still pregnant. And I don't think if I wouldn't have listened to that first, I don't know that I would be here, because she said in Girl Wash Your Face, at the end of the day, if you're a new mom, there are two things you need to do, you're responsible for: keeping yourself alive and keeping your baby alive. And I wrote that down in my phone. And I thought of that so many times when I was ready to throw in the towel with pumping, when the house was a mess and I just felt like a cow. I'm not going to lie. I did, and her words resonated with me, and I continued on that. So then when I was watching these top coaches talk about PD, I was constantly, I will say that's one thing I try really hard to do, is post what PD I'm doing, because they would talk about PD, but they would never tell me what they were doing. And it drove me absolutely bonkers, because I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? You keep talking about it. So it's something I try. A new one that I'm absolutely in love with is the Slight Edge. I have legit gone through like a paragraph at a time, because there's so many gut checks and so many things that I post about that come from that. And one thing I did forget to mention, all of my posts, those are things that I'm saying to myself. Those are things that I'm trying to like get out of my head for. Obviously my call to actions, I try to add in there a little bit more frequently, but especially some of those very first posts, they were all stuff that I was reading that resonated with me, and I just needed that. But quote of the day and Julianne's podcasts are also my two favorite.
Thank you, girl. The Slight Edge is a household favorite of ours. And then my very first book that I read, starting my journey, I think it's interesting. Like, this is so much more than a business, and it's so much more than social media. It's so much more than fitness. We're definitely more than, I think people think all we talk about is fitness and nutrition. And I'm like, no, we talk about everything. The first thing that when I started my journey 5 years ago was the compound effect. And I swear that's why I'm still here. And it's similar to the Slight Edge. It's just like everything compounds over time in a negative way or in a positive way. It's the same thing with Slight Edge. And I was like, if I just make an effort every day to do something, it's going to compound into something greater. And I do think that personal development is is what keeps you on this journey for more than just a little bit of a time. And then you're just able to see the value in it. So I keep hearing you say that you struggled a lot with nutrition and you felt like a cow, like really powerful, hurtful words. Like, I'm going to just throw that out there, that like, it breaks my heart that you would say that about yourself, but that was where you were at that time. How do you feel about yourself now and like how you live your life?
Now I know I'm a badass.
Hell
So
yeah.
especially like tomorrow when I do badass, I'm gonna post. I'm gonna tell you all about how I feel like a badass. And same thing with Fight Club. Like, oh, she's got me. Like, I'm probably gonna do Morning Meltdown again just because this is the one program. Don't get me wrong. I needed T20 because I needed something to kick my butt. And I love Autumn, but she kind of drives me crazy after a while. And so Jericho, she's got a place in my heart for the eternity because I will tell you in my transformation pictures since I've done my weight has not changed. Actually, it's probably gone up. But I've also been I've had a really busy last couple of months, and I've pushed my nutrition aside. The two things that I do every day though for my body is I show up for my workout and I drink my shake. And if I wouldn't be taking these pictures, yeah, I can see a little bit in my clothes, but I wouldn't see that difference that I see in those side-by-side pictures.
I would agree. Morgan's going to ask you a question in a second. My most hard thing I did when I first started my journey was take a before picture. But that before picture was my motivation. And I was listening to somewhere, Richard Branson is the CEO, founder of Virgin Records, and his son interviewed this guy and he said, how did you like get out of your tough situation? And he said, I always thought about my future self. And I think so much of what we do in life needs to be with that thought of who do I want to be in 10 years? Like, I think about that being Faye's mom. Like, I just want to be an unstoppable human, that I'm not just her mom, but I'm someone who just knows who she is. But when I saw that before picture of myself, it was such a gut check and it was so hard. But I was like, that's my motivation to change my lifestyle. And because I could never stick to anything before. And then even now, like postpartum, I look at the best peak of best shape of my life was right before I got pregnant with Faye. And I just think with my future self of like, Julianne, you're unstoppable. You're so strong. Like, show up for her when you don't feel like it, when you're exhausted, when you're tired. And that's how I made this business work when I was, how many of you are all busy? 5 million things on your plate, right? Like, how do you show up when you're that busy? It's just, you have to think with your future self. All right, Morgan, take it away with the last question, and then we'll take a picture after Danielle answers, and then we'll call it a night.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Danny, you just absolutely blew me away, but we can wrap up after this question. And I told you I was going to ask you this question too. So first of all, give it up for Danny, who wrapped up Success Club like she wanted last night, 5 minutes before Eastern time hit midnight, like down to the wire. And let me tell you that yesterday she was at Success Club 0 and she still made it happen for the month. Okay, well, you were at 2, but barely at 2. You were at 2 for like a second, and then you pushed the rest of the way. Don't make this smaller than it is. You did an insane job at the end of the month. And I want you to walk through what some of your follow-ups looked like, who you connected with to make that happen, and why you were so determined to hit that metric. And just, you blew me out of the water when you texted me and was like, 5 minutes to spare, done.
My determination was the fact that I knew I could do it. I needed to prove to myself again that this business is simple. It's not easy. You have to push past those comfort zones because nothing grows in comfort zones. We can't build ourselves to the person that we imagine we're going to be if we keep playing small, if we keep being that old self. My follow-ups, they were people who had been interested and ghosted me. And mind you, I can't wait for next week's call because I need help on my tracking. But I just kept scrolling through the people that I've messaged, and I'd be like, what's going on? One thing that did change a lot for me this month was I kind of gotten a better system of now anyone, and I'm talking Instagram, I send them a message when they follow me saying, hey, my name is blah, 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 kind of about this call, I'm found a passion. And if people like it or message back, I'll kind of try to build that conversation with them, get to know them more. I'm trying to, be a better social media and go on their page and love on them if I expect them to do the same thing for me. So I'm doing that. And then we're just I'm trying to continue the conversation and tell them, like, I've been there, been busy, I'm still busy. You can do this even if it just give it a month. But because I know that if they give it a month, they're not going away. Of all the people that I've signed up, I have 2 people that deleted their Facebook, and that is the only reason they don't talk to me anymore. So I send everyone a message. Sorry, yeah. So I guess if you want to join my team, I'm a little bit spicy about things, but that's just because I know the potential, and I see the potential in the people that join me, and I want them to feel the way I feel because I feel amazing, and they deserve to feel amazing. So
believe in those
yeah.
people. Like, that is the hardest thing, is when some people look at this as a credit card charge, and I never looked at it like that because it changed everything about who I am. Like, it didn't just transform my body, it transformed my mind. Eric, I keep bringing this up, but I remember one time Eric was in the car and he's like, what would life look like if we wouldn't have said yes to this? And I'm like, I don't know, because just the exposure to personal growth and mindset beyond teaching, like having things beyond your occupation that you went to school for, being surrounded by a positive group of people that want you to win, that care about health and wellness. I don't know. And that's so hard to swallow. And I think too, like when people delete or unfriend or quit or whatever, it's never really about you, especially if you had the best intentions. But I think the hardest thing in this is like, well, there's a lot of hard things, but because you're doing life, is wishing people let it transform their life the way that it's done for you. But if you don't quit, the right people are with you. Like, that's just how I feel, where I've had a lot of people quit and do whatever, but I just, the consistent in that was me. Of here I am, and I'm still here all these years later, and I'm not going anywhere. And I have an unshakable belief in this team, in the products that we use, because these products are real. We're the #1 trending gem in the world. We have programs that are for everybody, and they work, and they're not a quick fix, and it's not this diet, and it's not this like scheme of like, let's just try to get you to lose weight. We're like, how can you make this a lifestyle to where you're healthier and happier? And I'm so behind that.